Hello friends, and welcome back to another makeup tutorial. Today we are going to be doing a yellow eyeshadow look with a cut crease, so let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to start with my Estee Lauder moisturizer. I love this stuff. So moisturizing, just makes my skin feel really supple, moisturized. I like to put it on under my eyes when I'm doing my full face of makeup, but at night I put it all over the skin. I'll leave a link to it down below. Thanks to Estee Lauder for sending this to me. And then I apply my sunscreen, which is the Clarins UV anti-pollution sunscreen, which I feel like a lot of people leave out the fact that they put sunscreen on, or maybe they don't, but I put it on every day. So next I'm going to go into my Morphe 35R palette and take that brown shade that I just showed you. I'm going to put that all in the crease, and I'm being very messy here because we're going to cut the crease with a concealer anyways, so just easy peasy, get it in the crease, move on. Now this is the step I probably should have skipped. I didn't realize that this Morphe 35B palette, the yellow shade, I don't know if you guys can see that. One, it is so powdery, and two, it is not pigmented at all. Like, look at, I don't know if you guys can see, but there's literally powder puffs flying off my eye from this. It's so powdery. So I was like, you know what? We need to fix this. We need to go in with the concealer, use that as a base, and then you'll see how pigmented the color becomes. So I'm taking my MAC concealer. I think it's like called a concealer pot. I'll leave a link to it down below. And I'm going to put that all over the lid and take it into the crease to basically what we call cut the crease, if you didn't know, which I'm sure most of you know, just to create a crease. And then that's where we're going to put the yellow shadow again on top of that. So you can see I'm doing it here. I'm usually not this fast at it. I don't know why I was going so fast. This part usually takes me like 5 to 10 minutes because I usually want the line to be really straight, but maybe it was the brush I was using. It was so easy today. I was looking at this footage like, wow, I really breezed through this step. So I wanted to show you, I usually cut this down, but I wanted to show you how I do it. Literally just put the concealer all over the lid, bring it all the way up to the crease, and now we're going to go back and put that yellow shade on top of it so that it's more pigmented, because as you can see, that shade was a powdery mess. So look at it now. Now it looks right like a vibe. Look at that powder coming off of my eye. That is insane. I'm telling you, Morphe shadows, some of them are great, like the Jaclyn Hill palette. I don't know if they put like magic fairy dust in that palette, but that palette's amazing. This palette is just like powder central. Some of the shades are and some of them aren't. It's very inconsistent. So now you can see the yellow, much more pigmented, still powdery, but the color is there and it's giving me the yellow payoff that I wanted. So if you ever have any crappy shadows that are just powdery and not pigmented, just put a concealer on under it and it'll really help the pigmentation. Now I'm just taking a very bright, it was like a bright white shade. I thought I showed it to you guys, but I guess I didn't. It was basically like a muted version of the yellow on my eye with a hint of silver in it. I'm going to put that on the inner corner just to tie everything together. Just make it look somewhat gradient from the inner corner to the outer corner. And now we are going to move on to cleaning up this powdery shadow. So what I use is a makeup remover wipe, and then apparently I used my shirt. These are the things that I should probably cut out of the video, but you guys know I just show you how it is. So I used a makeup remover wipe and my shirt to clean up the outer edges, and then I just went back in to add some more yellow. Now I'm going to use the Real Techniques Powder Blue brush. I love this brush. I'll leave a link to it down below. I love all the brushes from the Powder Blue collection. So soft. They blend everything so well, and this gives you a really nice blended look. A really natural blended look. So if you want a very natural look, I really recommend this brush. I'll leave a link to it down below. Thanks to Real Techniques for sending me these brushes. I really like them. So soft. If any of you have tried them, let me know in the comments down below. I did a full review video on them. I'll put a link to that on the screen. Now I'm going to go with my Girlatick, what is this? It's just a liquid liner. I loved this pen at first, and now I cannot stand it. After just having it for a month, there's still ink in it. There's still liner in it, but it skips. It's clumpy. I would not recommend it. And it's not affordable. I think I got this in a BoxyCharm, but I looked up the price, and I believe it's 20 bucks. So it's great at first, but if you want it to last, like, I don't know, a month. I'm someone who wears eyeliner every day. I don't use it every day, but I'd say at least every other day, and it just doesn't hold up well. The brush has become very flimsy. The formula is skipping. It's clumpy. It's such a pain. So you can see here, I'm going off frame because I had to get so close to the mirror because I was like, what is going on? So I wouldn't recommend it, especially for 20 bucks. I feel like you can get a better eyeliner at the drugstore. So, moving on, I am going to powder my face before I put on foundation. I actually did a full review video on powdering your face before foundation. I am using another Real Techniques powder blue brush. I love this brush. I've used this brush for everything, including for like putting on blush, to putting on foundation, to powdering my face. I really love it. I wouldn't recommend it for foundation, but anything for like contouring, powder products, definitely give it a try. I love these brushes like I've already told you guys. We're going to go in with the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation in Pecan. This is quickly becoming one of my favorite full coverage high-end foundations. It's long wearing, full coverage, easy to blend. I really love this foundation. If any of you have tried it, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I always wonder, people that don't have oily skin, if you like this. It'd be interesting to know that because I feel like it keeps me pretty matte throughout the day. Next up, I primed my face with the Benefit Professional. Now I'm going to use the Amazing Cosmetics Concealer. Amazing Cosmetics did send this to me. I really like it. Super full coverage. If you don't like full coverage, thick concealers, you would not like this concealer. This stuff is like very thick. I was going to say like Play-Doh thick. It's not that thick, but the only thing I can think of to compare it to is like the Kat Von D Lock-It Foundation. It's just very thick and it does not budge. Very high coverage. It's a little, I just poked myself in the eye. That's funny. It's a little difficult to blend, but if you've got the time, it's definitely worth it. So I'm using my Laura Mercier translucent powder to blend that out. And with this concealer, you definitely want to take your time blending. And you see I go back in with the foundation brush to make sure that concealer is blended in with the foundation. Next up, taking my Graftobian Cream Color Palette. You guys know I love this palette. I always go in with a heavy hand, and if you have this palette, you need very little product, so please don't put on as much as I always do because it is not needed. So I'm going to use this dark brown color to contour the nose, and I have way too much color on. So I start out with using my fingers, and then I go in with a brush to blend it out even further. Look at that. That is just way too much. I'm telling you, this palette is going to last me for at least 2 years. I mean, you need so little of the product, and it's just so long wearing. Next up, I'm going to take this Nars Blush. I love this blush because it looks like a very deep plum color, but then when you put it on, it gives you like a nice wash of plum. It's not super, super vibrant, but it does add a flush to the cheeks, and that's perfect, and that's what I like. Now I'm going to finish off the eye look with going back into that yellow shade that we put all over the lid, and I'm going to put that on the lower lash line, which was not a good idea because it is so powdery, and it irritated my eyes to no end. So I don't know. Morphe, what do you guys think of Morphe shadows? I like that they're so affordable, but I feel like the pigmentation and the consistency is just all over the place. I love Jaclyn Hill's palette. I've been using that every day since it came out, but that's not the norm for Morphe. That's like something they worked on with her forever. You guys know the story probably, so I don't know how I feel about them. Moving on, I'm going to put black on the lower lash line, and I'm going to use another powder blue Real Techniques brush. This is the Kabuki brush. I love this brush. It's like a spa experience. It's so soft. I use it to finish powder on my face, on my neck. It just feels so nice, and it blends everything into the skin so naturally. I love it. I love Real Techniques, and I love the powder blue collection. Some of my favorite brushes. Now, for the lip color, I was all over the place. First, I started with this NYX, I think it's a lip butter cream. I'll leave a link to them down below. So I started out with this one. I think this is called Copenhagen. And I was like, oh no, this is way too dark. As soon as I put it on, I was like, this does not match this eye look. I love that lip color, but for this eye look, it's way too dark. So then I went in with this Vasanti lip color that came in BoxyCharm, and I was like, let's lighten it up a bit. But because that buttercream is so shiny, it just gave me like a shiny, mauve-y, purpley, pink, you see what's happening. And I was like, what is going on here? It's a really pretty lip color combo, but then it just doesn't match the yellow. So I looked at it and I was like, no, this isn't going to work. So then I thought, let me add another light pink to lighten it up. So that's what I did. And then I was like, no, this isn't going to work. So then I started blotting it off a little bit. And I was like, let's add the YSL lip stain. So I put on a little bit more light pink because I felt like once I took some of that purple off, we started to get to where I wanted to. So next I took the YSL lip stain. Nope, I'm sorry. I took another purple color, which I don't even know what this is, so I can't even link it down below. This is honestly how I do my lips all the time when I film a tutorial. I literally put on 10 different lip products until I get the shade I want. Finally, I'm going to take the YSL lip stain, and this is in the number 47 Carmen tag, and this is a very bright reddish, pinkish, orange color. So I thought it would be nice to add a hint of that with all of the pinks that I've already put on the lips. This is long wearing. It gives you a nice wash of color. And now we have the finished look. This is the finished look. I hope that you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so that you're notified of all new videos. Give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to check out the videos on the screen. I've already asked you to subscribe. That's it for me, friends. I will see you next time. Bye.